Hey, good morning. This is the last day of my epic adventure out west. Um, so I got two things to tell you this morning. One, I have an I have to confess something. I have been riding on I-80. Yes, I got off the two-laners, but I've got to make it to Colorado Springs today, so I can crash tonight and then spend time with family tomorrow. So there's my confession. I'm on the interstate right now. I just pulled off at an exit in the middle of nowhere, and this is what the extreme edge of Utah looks like. I'll be crossing into Colorado soon, up ahead, but I'm going to be diving off of I-80 and headed for Highway 50, which will take me all the way to Salida, where I can pick up 24 and then come in the back way into Colorado Springs. So that's my plan for the day. And this morning was kind of tough because at the end of every one of these adventures, you always have to turn east again. And it sucks, man. Because east means you're going back home and that things are almost over. And but I've had such a good time out here. I really have. And I'm going to make today's going to be awesome because I'll be back in the mountains today. Take me a couple hours to get out of this, which is basically high desert. But I will get back into Colorado and it'll turn green and the roads will get twisty again and I'll be off of the super slab. So we'll see you around lunchtime maybe, something like that. I'm not getting great fuel economy at 90. It's 80 mile an hour speed limit out here, so I can run 90, 93, and the bike can barely do it, but it can do it. So I'll talk to you in a couple hours. Thanks again for hanging out with me. See ya. Stopped at a little rest area. Looks promising. Oh yeah, this'll work. I just need to get a little something to drink. Get off the bike for a bit. I have a little tradition on my trips. I always buy a hat at Goodwill. So this is my OT hat. I don't know if it's overtime or what, but I'm stopped here just a little bit north of Buena Vista, Colorado on 24. I just got off 50, and I've been a little stingy today. I've been thinking more about me than about you because I just didn't stop to do any video. It was a fantastic ride, the highlight of which is Monarch Pass. Monarch Pass is just a phenomenal, for a motorcyclist, it's gorgeous, man, and it just got these big, huge, long sweepers, and there's just scenery everywhere you look, behind you, in your mirrors, in front of you, on the sides. It's all just really fantastic. So I was stingy, and I just didn't do anything for you, so sorry about that. It hasn't rained on me at all yet, but the direction I'm going, it's pretty dark and there's a lot of clouds, so I'd be pretty stupid at this point if I didn't put my rain gear on. The same rules apply to sports photographers walking into a big stadium to shoot a football game. If it's going to look like rain, if you don't bring your gear, it's going to rain. If you bring your gear and you put it on, it definitely won't rain. So kind of works for motorcycling too, so I'm hoping for the best. But anyway, it's just been a really, really nice day. It's been really mild. It hasn't been super hot at all. And my jacket, which my wife got me for Christmas, it's awesome, has all these little zippers all over it that are vents. It's really nice. And I can change the zippers as I ride without having to stop and take it off and do all that stuff. So it's been super convenient to have that jacket on a day like today. The top of Monarch Pass was probably, I would guess, 30 to 35 degrees colder than the climb below. So it gets cool up there. But I didn't have to stop and put any like liner on or a vest or anything, so it worked out really well. All in all, I've just been having a fantastic day, and the mountains behind me are majestic. They're gorgeous. Things are looking really good. I'm just so thankful about being able to have these experiences and to be able to share them with you too. It's just a great privilege to be able to, do these trips, and I know many people can't do things like this because of time, the money. Um, time and money is a big deal, but I don't know, I guess I've worked hard enough in my life where I am able to do this, and I'm thankful. And a lot of you talked about in your Facebook comments about how you travel vicariously through me, and if that's the case, then it's a win-win. Win for me, for sure, but it's great to share these experiences with you as well. I'll try to stop a little bit more, but if it starts raining, I ain't stopping, because it's just a drag. I ride and ride and ride, and I don't talk to anybody at all except to get into a room in a hotel and to order food. Otherwise, I don't speak to anyone unless it's on the phone. And I guess the longer you ride and the more time you spend out in God's country like this, the more your view goes up, like that 10,000 foot view. And I think a lot about, when I ride, I think a lot about the CCCs, these incredible men who just literally carved up our country and made it what it is. People that built the roads, the interstate system, the Eisenhower, interstate system. I read a book a couple of years ago that just haunts me in a good way. It's called The Lincoln Highway, and there's another one called The Story of the American Road, and it's like the first cross-country road that they ever made, and they did it with the Army. The U.S. Army did it. And I think about, that brief time I was on I-80 today, I got to thinking about how the way that Eisenhower was able to get that legislation through to spend the billions of dollars it took to build the interstate system in the 50s is he basically said, look, this is a military thing. And what they had to do is when they built the original interstate system, they had to guarantee that every 5 miles there was 1 mile straight with no bridges. And that was to be able to land a B-52 on, in case we were ever invaded by Russia or whatever, height of the Cold War. So, but anyway, I just think about all the blasting that, all the dynamite that's been used, and all the probably men who have been hurt and even killed in these mines everywhere we're going. And but mostly I think about the road less traveled. And I think about the book I read so long ago as a kid, Travels with Charlie. Wonderful book. If this is kind of interests you, you might really enjoy Travels with Charlie. It's a fantastic book. But I just think about our country, what a great place this is, and how few people explore it, really. And I'm glad to be not an explorer finding something new. I find all this stuff that everybody else has already found, but I haven't found it yet, and so it makes it unique to my experience. And I hope that my kids, Sophie and Patrick, are instilled with a wanderlust to go and seek out beautiful places. Maybe not on a motorcycle, but in a car or in a plane or whatever. So, but I'm mostly just thankful today. I'm really, really thankful to be able to be out here in the state of Colorado with money in my pocket and the ability to put gas on the bike. And I am going to need to retire pretty quick, for sure. So anyway, sorry I rambled on so long, but I've been thinking a lot all day, and I've been riding a lot all day, and I guess I had some stuff to say. So I hope it was interesting for you. We'll talk to you later. Well, I'm obviously off the road. I finished the ride in the rain. I came through a town called Divide, and the temperature dropped down to probably high 40s, and it was raining, and I had to put on all my cold weather and rain gear. And then I came into Colorado Springs. The last 40 miles was it was okay, but I have to come through Woodland Park, and I have to come down this pass called Ute Pass. And it was, a little hairy. It's a two-lane divided highway, but 24 is at that point. But it's the visibility was poor, and it's really curvy and twisty. And but it was cool. I ended up back at my cousin Kevin's house. I so appreciate him and his wife Aileen allowing me to crash with them. But I'm spending the morning here trying to finish this last vlog entry. to kind of zip up the trip. I had a great time. I mean, it's just incredible. If any of you are thinking about having a motorcycle somewhere other than where you live, this is really working for me. If I had spent the money on renting a Harley for a week, I could have not only paid for all my hotels and all my meals, my plane ticket, but I probably could have paid for a third of the motorcycle that I'm riding right now. So kind of think about that as if you if this is interesting to you. Just to give you an idea, I'm going to keep doing these. It seems like people are responding pretty well to them, so I'm going to keep doing the MotoPat vlog in the future. And I'm going to be heading home today, and then next week I'm going to be vlogging from a condo out in Sun Valley, Idaho, which is going to be pretty sweet. As soon as I get back from Sun Valley, I've got a speaking engagement for Bedford's Photo in Little Rock, which I'm really excited about. They've asked me to do like a huge kind of bring in my entire career and talk about what I've learned at different stages of my career, starting in newspaper photography when I was still in college. So I'm kind of excited about putting that together. I've got about half of it done. And then when I get back from Sun Valley, Idaho, I'm going to be taking a new motorcycle, new to me, that I'm going to ride to Little Rock, and then I'm going to keep coming back right here to Colorado Springs. And I'm going to exchange that motorcycle, which is called a Yamaha Super Tenere. I'm going to leave that in Colorado, and I'm going to take the V-Strom that you've been watching me ride for this week. I'm going to ride that back to Tennessee and sell it. So it's just too small for what I'm doing. I love the bike, but it's never missed a beat. It's awesome, but I'm used to a 1200 GS adventure bike made by BMW, and so this Yamaha is basically their version of the bike that I have in my garage, the BMW, so I'm going to try that. I think it's going to work out great. So thanks for watching, and I'm going to definitely be vlogging on that ride across country again. That's going to be mostly interstate, which is going to be kind of boring, but I'll probably check in and just see how things are going, let you know how I like the new bike, what's different and changed, stuff like that. So thanks so much for watching. I'm signing off from this trip, but there'll be many more because I've got a lot of riding left to do in my life. Thanks so much. I'm Pat Murphy-Racy, Sony Artisan of Imagery. Appreciate you guys.